Ever wondered how good Among Us players always know where to go and what to do? In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know about playing on Skeld, from the basic rules and tasks to meetings, sabotages, and beginner strategies, so you can jump into your next game with confidence. This tutorial is broken into several parts, covering the core mechanics of Among Us. We'll be going over the different roles, completing tasks, understanding the Skeld map, playing as both crewmate and imposter, and concluding with general gameplay tips and strategies. Chapter 1. Roles. If you're a returning player from 2020, you'll discover that a total of 9 new roles have been added. There are 6 crewmate roles and 3 imposter roles. Today, I'll walk you through a guide of how all these roles work, and some tips and tricks for them. We'll start with the crewmate roles. Scientist. Scientist is considered the worst role in the game due to it not providing much for crewmates. The scientist has access to vitals, meaning he can see who is alive and dead at any given moment. He uses his tablet to check vitals, though it has a timer to how long you can use it for. You can recharge the tablet's timer by doing tasks. The timer may be different across lobbies depending on how the host adjusts the settings. This happens with almost every role in the game. One tip I have for this role is, if you see someone that died on your tablet, do not hit the button. Instead, search the ship for the body, as it provides more information for the crew. Our next role is the engineer. This is one of the best roles in the game as it allows you to vent as a crewmate. You can use this to travel faster, but many good players use engineer to catch imposters. You should memorize which vents lead to which by playing on practice mode. Here are a few tips and tricks I have for engineer. 1. Always know the vent cooldown, which is how long it takes for you to leave and re-enter a vent. 2. This set of vents is known as Bermuda Triangle. You should camp these vents as imposters almost always kill here. Some players also like to camp the cafeteria triangle vents, though as a beginner you should stick to Bermuda. Next up is Tracker. Tracker is also one of the top 3 best roles, depending on tracking delay. Tracker can place a tag on any player without them knowing. You can then see where and how the player moves on the map. If you track someone and the player on your map moves smoothly as shown in the video, that means there is 0 tracking delay. When there is 0 tracking delay and the person on your map moves sharply, that means they just killed. When you track a phantom, you won't see them in-game, but they'll still show up on your map. The same thing applies to Shapeshifter. For example, let's say I track Maroon. If he shapeshifts into black, in-game he'll show up as black, though on my map he'll show up as his original color, maroon. That might be a lot to remember. So let's move on to our next role, which is much simpler. Noisemaker. The Noisemaker is a very simple role. You gain no abilities, but if you die, you send off an alert of where your body is, which puts pressure on the imposter that just killed you. I don't have a lot to say about this role, but here's what every player should know about Noisemaker. When a Noisemaker goes off and you get to the body, if somebody is dancing on the body, that is most likely a shapeshifter. Please do not report the body in this scenario. Instead, chase the shapeshifter to catch them unshifting. If you get to a body and nobody is around, check nearby rooms for vents that open, shapeshift evidence, or anyone that might be running from the body. Guardian Angel. When you get into a lobby, it will never say you are Guardian Angel on the role screen. Guardian Angels are assigned in death order. Let me explain. If there are 3 Guardian Angels, then the first 3 crewmates that die or get voted out will be guaranteed Guardian Angel. So yes, this means you can be 2 roles at once. The Guardian Angel can protect survivors from being killed. The survivor will not know they were being protected, but the Angel and imposter will. After the Angel protects somebody, they will have a cooldown until they can protect again. After protecting, the imposter's kill cooldown will also be reset. During the next meeting, there will be a text displaying that the Guardian Angel has saved someone. So if you are ever locked in a room with somebody, and it says the Angel protected someone, you should vote the person you were locked in with. The biggest tip you could get for Guardian Angel is that you need to think like an imposter. Any sudden movements toward players in the opposite direction could be a sign they are about to kill. Make sure you are always near an imposter so you can protect before they kill. As an imposter, if you sabotage comms, the Guardian Angel will not be able to protect. And finally, our last role, Detective. Detective is hands down the best and most important crewmate role. As a beginner, Detective might be a bit tricky to understand, but after practicing, you should get the hang of it. The Detective can see where a player was during a kill. When a body is reported, ask where it was and write the information down in your notes. In this clip, the body was in electrical, and it was a normal body. I wrote that down in my notes and skipped for more information. Then after the meeting ends, you can go up to someone and interrogate them. This will show where they were during the kill. In this clip, the body was in electrical and Cyan was in electrical during the kill, so I call a meeting to vote them out. Here are some tips for Detective. 1. Never say that you are Detective because imposters will target you if you do. 2. Be cautious of your surroundings so you don't die. Don't stay in dangerous places like electrical or near vents. That wraps up the 6 crewmate roles. Next up are the imposter roles. And don't worry, there's only 3. Let's start with Phantom. Phantom is the worst imposter role. The Phantom can go invisible, but it has a short animation, so be careful when using your ability. If you haven't noticed, the color of the smoke is the color of your character. Here I am purple and my smoke is purple, so if anyone saw the purple particles, they would know it was me. That's why it's best to go invisible when nobody is around or in range. Don't go invisible near popular vents like Bermuda because engineers can see the smoke. There will also be an animation for when you reappear. When you are invisible, only other imposters and ghosts can see you. Next up is Shapeshifter. This is the easiest imposter role to play as. Shapeshifter can turn into any player that is alive and kill. This role is pretty basic, but you have to be aware of a few things. 1. Similar to Phantom, the animation when you shift will have your color. Make sure nobody is around when you shift, just like Phantom. 2. Never shift right next to a wall. If you do, then the shapeshift bubble will clip through and people will see you shapeshift. 3. Sometimes you should stay near others instead of shifting. If people don't see you often during shapeshifter kills, they will grow sus on you because they might assume you are the shapeshifter. Lastly, when there are around 3 to 4 players left, do not shift. They will notice you are the only one not there and therefore vote you out. Finally, our last role, Viper. Viper is one of the best imposter roles, though it might be hard to use as a beginner. When you kill somebody with Viper, their body looks different, as it is covered in a green acid. If someone sees you Viper, you're cooked. Because if you kill with Shapeshifter or Phantom, you can blame it on an SS. But if you kill as Viper, they will know it was you. The main point of Viper is that it can dissolve bodies. This means that over a short period of time, the body will disappear. They will show up as dead during the next meeting, but nobody will know where it was. The Viper dissolve time is typically 5 to 15 seconds in normal lobbies, but it varies depending on the settings. After a Viper kill, you should close doors and let the body dissolve. When you close a door, it stays closed for 10 seconds, which is perfect if the dissolve time is 5 to 10 seconds, because when the door opens up, the body will already be gone. That wraps it up for all of the roles, so let's move on to tasks. We will mainly be focusing on visual tasks. More detailed and advanced info will be in my guide for Pro Among Us players coming soon. Crewmates can win in 2 ways, either by voting out the imposter or finishing all the tasks. Anyways, visual tasks are tasks that can hard clear you. In other words, it means you are 100% safe. Make sure to check if visual tasks are on before the round starts. There are 5 visual tasks, and stick around because you might not know about the secret 5th one. The first visual task is scan in medbay. The crewmate should have a green aura around them when they scan. The second one is asteroids in weapons. If you look on the right side, you'll see that these things are moving and shooting red bullets. This next visual task is a bit different, as it can only be done once, meaning if one player does it, nobody else can do it after. This task is called Shields, located in Shields. On the right, these bars will be dark, but once you finish the task, they will start glowing. Next up is Trash, which is a two-part task. You can either start it in Cafe or O2. Then you go to the bottom of Storage, and when completed, this load of trash will be seen falling out of the ship. And finally, our last visual task, Vent Clean. This task can occur in any vent around the map. It may not look like a visual task, but we can make it one. Here's what I mean. When a meeting is called, say that you have Vent Clean and where it is. Ask for an engineer to go to that vent. When they go inside the vent, start the task. They will be pulled out, therefore clearing yourself. Now we will be going over chat and language. Before we get into it, if you learned something from this tutorial so far, please like and subscribe, as my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers before 2027. Chat may be confusing if you don't know what terms like SS or poofed mean. Chat is one of the most important parts of the game, as your fate is decided on how you speak. For now, we'll go over phrases and terms and what they mean. Starting with role language. Eng means engineer, and CD means cooldown. NM means noisemaker. Psi is scientist. Det is detective. SS is shapeshifter or shapeshifted, depending on the context. Egg is the shapeshift bubble. Poofed and farted is the phantom's vanish ability. Now for overall language, HC means hard clear, or 100% safe. Imp is short for imposter. Sab means sabotage. UYA means where you at. Used to check if they're a shapeshifter. Finally, our location language. React means reactor. Upper is upper engine, lower is lower engine, elec is electrical, sec is security, med is med bay, caf is cafeteria, store is storage, and nav means navigation. We'll finish this tutorial with some overall tips for crewmates and imposters, starting with crewmate. You shouldn't be on cams often, as you barely see anything happen there, and it is very easy to die there. You should never be completely silent at meetings, as it will raise suspicion towards you. Don't make weird or sudden movements or randomly stop. This will make you look very sus. Finally, make sure to clear others and be on the lookout for any action, like someone venting, killing, shifting, etc. And now for imposters. While you are moving, you can open the sabotage panel. Never sabotage while standing still, as it makes you sus. Make sure to call correct sabotages during the right times. Close doors when shifting, lights when killing, etc. Be smart with how you speak. Don't randomly kill when your cooldown is ready. Instead, look for the perfect opportunity when nobody is around. Make sure to take out important roles like tracker or detective as soon as possible, or they will find that you're the imposter. That sums it up for the beginner's guide to Among Us. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new, and again, please subscribe as it supports me a lot. Thanks for watching.